Today we're going to be talking about The Shadow Rising. This is the fourth book in the Wheel of Time series. This one is a bit different to the rest. I feel this one opens up the world building, increases it, and just shows you how much can be done in such a. I don't know, like, it was very limited at the beginning in terms of fantasy and trying to stick to that. And then now this one is like where kind of the Wheel of Time becomes the series that I think it's going to go forward and take place. Before we get into the video, make sure to do the usual stuff of liking and subscribing, and leave a comment down below. Is this your favourite Wheel of Time book? I've heard quite a few people say that this is their favourite. So let's start off with some kind of general thoughts, and I really like this one. It was structured quite well in comparison to some of the other ones. The world building in this is what kind of did it for me. The introduction of the Aiel and their kind of place in this book and what they kind of represent is something that I really, really enjoyed. And just how this entire new culture is introduced and feels so nuanced and different, especially with the kind of way they come into contact with Rand and the rest of the kind of main characters here. Like I said a minute ago, the pacing of this one is a little better. I feel like there was more of a goal to the previous novel in terms of knowing where the story is headed, but I feel that was purposefully done in this book, and I thoroughly enjoyed how this one seemed to kind of go from one moment to the next and still kept going, even though I didn't know exactly where we were headed. If you get what I mean, though. Now, to do this one justice, I'm going to have to just talk spoilers now. So if you haven't read the book, go away, come back to this. I doubt you'd be watching this video if you haven't read the book, but go away and read it and then come back. So you start off the book with Rand, and I feel like one of the good scenes here is when the main trio gets attacked, and Rand gets attacked by like mirror copies, and he ends up being bleeding out and kind of in pain. It kind of shows just Rand in a kind of frail state here. I'm not going to talk about everything here because I feel like I could go on for ages, and I don't really want to do that because you guys probably already know most of what happens in this book. But one of the moments I really liked was when Rand finds, after the kind of fight, he finds the kind of child, and he tries trying to use the power to bring them back from the dead, and it's just not working. People turn up and see and are absolutely terrified of him because he's trying, not only is he in pain from earlier, but he's now trying to do something, and it's just showing not the extent of the power and the fact that the one power cannot bring people back from the dead. And Rand is trying his hardest, and even he is powerless in this situation. Now, let's kind of talk about the two different routes in this book. There's a third one that plays like a smaller part, which we'll talk about in the end, but let's talk about Perrin. Perrin realizes that the White Cloaks are attacking, or going to attack, the two rivers, and there's Trollocs and everything, and so he uses the ways to go back with Aiel. And those two has a weird stuff in the ways. I'm not a big fan of that. It's just kind of weird. Don't know. But the kind of sad scenes here where Perrin returns back to the two rivers and realizes that his family are dead. And he goes from breaking down and being in tears and just in a lot of pain, then deciding that he's just gonna try and do his best, and he's like trying to not think about what's just happened to him. He's kind of putting it at the back of his mind and just like, okay, I'll help these people. This is the best I can do, and it means I don't have to think about it. And then he just goes on a revenge spree and is like killing Trollocs and trying to get some sort of revenge back, which obviously he's not going to be able to do. But they're expecting a Trolloc attack, and he sends Vael off to go and get reinforcements from Caemlyn, which means that she'll just be out of the way and that he can just basically save her because they're not going to survive this. And the White Cloaks say they will help if Perrin turns himself in, because one of the White Cloaks is Palan Fain, who's going by a different name now. I can't remember the name, but I really like this, and the fact that then when the attack comes, Viol comes back, and she's basically, this is what makes her like great for Perrin, because she comes back having gathered other people from the towns nearby instead of going to Camelin, and so she comes back with this kind of army of people, and they come back and help, and then the White Cloaks don't help, so Perrin obviously refuses to then go with them, which makes a lot of sense. I didn't realize what was going on at first, and then I realized the White Cloaks didn't help at all. They didn't do anything. They would just let everyone else die, and then they would probably have stepped in it if they would look like it was going to be their life, if it's on the line here. And yeah, let's talk about Rand now. Rand goes with Mat, Egwene, and Moiraine, and they all go to the Aiel Waste. And here they meet the Aiel Tribe Masters and decide that they need to go into Voidion. Previously in the novel, Mat was like found out he needs to go to Voidion, and and Rand also needs to go into so he can be the Karakan, which is apparently something that he's going to be. I don't really know, like, I don't really want to be explaining the book, but I felt this done really well, and the scenes, especially in Voidion, were very interesting. I enjoyed this bit, especially the fact that Mat went in as well, and then Mat, being Mat, just finds these people that he's like, previously in the novel, he asked them questions and they gave answers, and that's how they worked. And he found these same type of people in Rodion, and were asking, and they weren't doing anything, they weren't responding. So he just asked for stuff, and he doesn't name a price, and they choose the price, and which is to hang him. So Mat gets hanged. Rand finds the truth of the Aiel, that they were oath breakers, and they used to be pacifists, and so their kind of lifestyle now, which is all about kind of war and protecting one another, is completely separate and completely different. And then Rand comes out and finds Mat's been hanged and tries to resurrect him, tries to revive him, gives him CPR, does manage to bring him back, but that scene... Oh. On the other side of this, we've got Nynaeve and Elaine, and they've gone to go and find out about Black Aja, and end up, long story short, fighting one of the Forsaken. And the fact that here is where Nynaeve just becomes, and just realizes how powerful Nynaeve is. The fact that she fights the Forsaken, and even the Forsaken looks nervous, like fighting her, because Nynaeve can, when she gets angry, it's very powerful. And even the Forsaken are frightened. And it just kind of shows how powerful she is, and just how, like, basically just how badass Nynaeve is in this. She manages to stop this from happening and stop the Forsaken, and that just acts as a kind of scene to that she and Elaine stop, but also just a way to like show how powerful Nynaeve is. And finally, we've got the bit where Rand comes back. One of the other clan chiefs, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, is like angry that Rand, who's an outsider, is like the Karakan, and he also falsely like says that he is too, and so they have that kind of thing. And Rand just openly tells them that they used to be pacifists, and the other dude was basically just lying. And all the clan chiefs come together, and you're like, that's true. And so some follow Rand, some don't, like, either reject Rand or don't like the idea that they used to be pacifists and leave. And then Rand goes to fight Lanfear, and Lanfear basically just directs him. It's like, don't fight me, go fight the dude that gave this dude, the other clan chief, the tattoos on his arms to say the Karakan. And Rand does. And then Rand goes, fights Osmodium, and basically just makes him his slave. He controls him, and he uses Osmodium to teach him the One Power and how to control it. And that kind of relationship there, I think, is really, really well done. And I have read some of the next book, so I know how it kind of plays out, and I really do enjoy it. It's a nice dynamic that I've not seen a lot. But yeah, so my final thoughts on this one is just it's a lot more nuanced, and just different to the rest of the series, which I really liked. And it just shows how, like, and it just shows the kind of direction it's going in. And especially this one is very good with world building. I've said this earlier, but very well done on this one. So I'd probably give this one kind of a 4 or maybe a 5. We'll go for 5 out of 5. Gotta be. If you like this review, I'll leave a review either side of me for the first book in the series. And thank you for watching.